Alright, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was pretty good.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yee.
Yeah.
That's all. No,
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah,
all. Let's
yeah,
go.
Yeah, a little bit. But in all seriousness, yeah, it's the new Quentin Tarantino movie, the new thing all the kids are going to be watching and more than likely complaining about the next few days. And everyone that called it a masterpiece is going to turn into contrarians and say it's the most overrated piece of shit of the year. Everyone that hated it is going to go, man, it was such a fucking masterpiece a year from now. And yeah, internet discourse about movies fucking sucks ass.
I don't know, man. This is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it's really good. I'll need to see it again just to be absolutely sure that it's like, my favorite or anything like that. I definitely will say it's the most different movie he's ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to something like a Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction or Kill Bill, is like this really tries to be its own beast and try to be a bit more of, I guess you could say, a dramedy than like a thriller or an action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basic concept of the movie, for people that do not know, have been trying to avoid spoilers and all that, which I will say is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a case where you kind of want to go in blind, but basic synopsis is it takes place in 1969 and follows this fictional actor named Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his stuntman, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt. And, they're trying to work together. Rick's kind of having a hard time in his career, doesn't really know what to do, trying to keep himself alive after the main show he was part of got fucking canceled, which they joke was kind of because of him.
He wanted to go star in movies like a big shot.
Then it fucked up royally. Yeah. But all in all, it is a good story. It's, I guess you can call it like one of those bro movies where it's, it's more about Rick and Cliff being friends and hanging out and trying to figure out what they're trying to do with their lives. Then you get into the spoiler territory.
The subplot.
The subplot, which you realize, oh, this was the actual story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go really light on spoilers for a little bit, just kind of a TLDR of our thoughts, because we're only like 2 minutes in. But basically, really good movie. Definitely watch it. Really funny, witty, great chemistry. It's Quentin Tarantino, so obviously all the technical shit's like down pat. You don't have to worry about seeing some dude in the background drinking a water bottle when he's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But for an in-depth kind of our thoughts on it, holy shit, this is you can tell Quentin Tarantino fucking hates Charlie Manson, because that is what this movie is about. It's basically a subplot that's kind of brewing in the background with Cliff, is that he ends up actually running into the Charlie Manson family, and they live right next door to Sharon Tate, which, if you know anything about Charlie Manson and Sharon Tate, you know that ends really, really fucking badly.
Oh no, oh god, oh shit.
Yeah, helter skelter, motherfucker. But the basic idea is it's about Rick and Cliff trying to reignite Rick's career. Rick has a lot of scenes where he's on set trying to give these Oscar-winning performances. He goes and makes spaghetti westerns, which they do kind of have a funny little thing of that, where he's in the Italian film industry. It's like, yeah, that's kind of a clever little nod and all that. But the thing with Cliff and the Manson family kind of keeps brewing. He has a really tense scene on their compound where, yeah, I'm not going to describe that just because that scene was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, it's definitely a great movie. It's definitely a lot of fun to watch. Then you get to the very, very end, where the ending is going to completely divide people. Like, no two ways about it. You're not really sure how you're going to feel about it.
Yeah, it kind of continues with his trend of changing history, if you would.
Yeah, very, very much so. If you watched Inglourious Basterds, you know what we're talking about. But it is a fun ending. If you love the ending, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, like the ending is one of my favorite parts about the movie.
Yeah.
Outside of just like the way like Leonardo DiCaprio like performs some scenes, like whenever he yells at himself.
Yeah, the scene with him in the trailer had us like laughing our ass off, because it is Tarantino humor. If you like Tarantino humor, you're gonna love it, because there's a lot of
dark humor and shit.
Yeah, a lot of interesting dark humor, a lot of really, you can almost argue, foreshadowing humor and kind of ironic humor. But that ending is just so out of left field that I'm almost convinced the ending itself is a joke, where when we say this is completely different from a lot of Tarantino movies, we really fucking mean it, because the big thing is the fact that for a while, for a long chunk of the movie, there's like no violence in it whatsoever, because that's not what it's about. It's about the Hollywood system. You have all these send-ups to 1960s Hollywood. You know, how you have all these westerns in development, because in the 60s and 70s, shitloads of westerns are getting pumped out because that was the big thing. Then you had the dawn of the spaghetti western, which they poke fun at. So you have this like really honestly kind of mature look at it. Sure, it's funny and it is fictional, but there's still kind of an attention to detail to making it accurate. And you can tell that Tarantino has a lot of love for this era. Then like I said, you get to that ending where it goes completely off the wall fucking crazy.
Yeah, just batshit insane.
Yeah, and yeah, it gets violent, it gets bloody. Holy shit, people die bad. And yeah, if you liked the more, hey, I like this to be more of a mature kind of dramedy about the Hollywood system in the 60s, that ending's probably going to piss you off because you go like, oh, fucking really, Tarantino, you couldn't help yourself. But I couldn't help but feel like that's the joke, where Tarantino knows critics are going to love like the 99% and then fucking despise that 1%, and he's basically laughing to himself about it.
Yeah, this is the only movie this year that we've seen where everyone in the theater, like multiple times, just fucking like burst out laughing.
Yeah, for the right reason, where you can tell that was the point.
Yeah. Yeah,
where something like Midsommar, you can kind of tell like people are probably just laughing because they're uncomfortable. This is one of those where they were laughing because there were some genuinely hilarious moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ending is so darkly comedic, and there are so many moments before that, and they are just pitch perfect black comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then, like the trailer freak out with Leo is probably one of my favorites, just because it goes from 0 to 100 so fast, where the setup to that is he flubs a line during rehearsal, and it's just kind of a tiny little thing. He does it like maybe twice or so. No one's really riding him for it. You know, it's not that big a deal. But he's in his trailer afterwards and having a full-scale mental breakdown about it, and outright like threatens himself in the mirror to go out to his pool and commit suicide if he fucks up again.
Yeah.
So if you like that really dark, not pleasant style of humor, this is probably perfect for you.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, like I said, a majority of the movie is build up to the violence, so it's not going to be quite as black comedy as something like Hateful Eight, where half the joke is someone gets his head blown off and brains are all over another person. It's not so much that. I mean, there's definitely grotesque violence. In fact, that's what made a lot of people completely lose their shit in the theater.
Yeah.
Like, they were laughing so hard just because it goes from 0 to 1,000. But it is a lot of fun. There's obviously a lot of commentary, like I said, on 1960s Hollywood. There's a lot of talk about the hippie community.
Yeah.
That's something that constantly pops up. It's like, man, fuck those hippies.
I mean, they're right.
Yeah, fuck those hippies. Yeah, fuck them. But it's fun. It's definitely great. I'm not for sure if any performance is like really Oscar worthy. I mean, I guess you can argue Leo.
I mean, yeah, Leo had really, really good performance.
Yeah, he always tries really hard in every single scene.
Yeah, his whole yelling shtick that he does really well comes out a lot in this movie.
Yeah,
and it works for the better.
Yeah, but the reason I say that is because, as stated, this is more of a dramedy, so Leo's kind of in a different direction than a lot of stuff he's usually in. A lot of time he's really intense, he's very trying to be dramatic and all that, but in this he's really more of a goofball. Like, he's easily, like, really more of the comedy guy compared to someone like Cliff, where Cliff is more of that kind of quiet, intense, will fuck you up type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you kind of see that definitely towards the end, where he has no idea what's going on and he's freaking out, and it's really funny.
Oh yeah.
And we have to keep revolving around that ending, just because that ending is easily the most memorable part of the movie, where
100%.
Yeah, where you're thinking like, oh no, I know where this is going. Then it twists and then turns and then twists again, and you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. The great thing about the subplot, the thing that I really liked about it, is the moment it kind of shows up, because it shows up, I want to say probably around like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Is
when it first shows up. And at first I didn't quite catch it. I had a little bit in the back of my head where I'm like, hey, that looks a lot like Charles Manson.
Yeah, or like, hey, you have hippies, 1960 Hollywood, Sharon Tate's outright a character.
Yeah.
Charlie Manson's going to get involved in this.
Oh, yeah.
And then you find out, yeah, that's totally exactly what happened.
That's exactly how it goes. And just watching it build up is really entertaining, and then it sidetracks you with the shit going on with Cliff and everything.
Yeah.
It's just really fucking fun.
Yeah, it is great. You have scenes where like they even have Cliff fight Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
which I will say is kind of bullshit. Where, oh come on, Brad Pitt would have gotten his ass kicked if he fought Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, it's of course just like a fucking dream sequence and everything.
Yeah, well, it's like a flashback explaining how Cliff lost his job, because we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure if like the fight's exactly how the character explains it to somebody, but all you know is a director's wife's car gets destroyed in the fight. I'm of the belief it's like, Cliff was just trying to stroke himself off a little bit. I think Bruce Lee threw him into the car.
I think it was just a fucking full on, hey, what if I tried to get this stunt job?
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's one of those where, as stated, it's just kind of like a goofy little thing.
It's a goofy little like side scene and everything, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, it's really great, and honestly, great's just how you describe the movie in general. Because say what you want about Tarantino, oh he's an asshole, or oh his style ruined a whole bunch of other.
Oh man, he likes feet too much.
Yeah, man, he loves shoving his foot fetish everywhere. Cause it was that scene with Sharon Tate with her feet's right there and in front of the camera, and it's like, yeah, we get it, Quentin. But no, it's really good. It's really good, especially if you do love this kind of subject matter where it's around, Hollywood 1960s and just seeing the culture around it and seeing how everything built the way it did.
Yeah.
Which I say is kind of neat. They definitely play with the whole alternate history thing quite a bit by making Rick Dalton basically like Clint Eastwood, but not Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Which definitely conflicts with the fact that he's just an emotional fuck up, which I think is really funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And once again, since it is Tarantino, you don't have to worry about any kind of woke shit or anything like that. I don't even want to bring it up, but you're always going to have that one guy that screams, oh man, the movie's racist because of the joke with Native Americans or something like that. It's like completely missing the point.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are like products of the time where they're supposed to be the way that they are.
Yeah.
Like a joke about how the only good Native American is a dead Native American because of Western movies.
Yeah, which is the title of a spaghetti Western film, because that was kind of the rise of like, spaghetti Westerns and exploitation movies.
Yeah, you have shit like that. You have the fight with Bruce Lee. I know people have been calling that racist, but no, just stop. Leave it.
It straight up isn't.
Yeah, just leave it, please.
Yeah. And, just the fact that it's like, oh, Tarantino's this super uncaring white guy that always shoves the N-word in his movies about, like Django and Hateful Eight. It's like, that was the dialect at the time.
Yeah. There wasn't a single N-bomb in this movie.
I don't remember, no. I don't think so.
Fantastic. Tarantino's growing.
Yeah, he's learning. He's learning about the N-word pass. But yeah, all in all, great movie. Highly recommend it. Super good.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
See ya.
See ya.